Cheese is a prop. Cheese is a prop. Cheese is a prop. Cheese is a prop. This should be an extra. Hopefully. Let's see.
Yeah. Cheese is a prop. Yeah.
Cheese
Okay.
is a prop. Cheese is a prop.
Welcome back to Taste Test, everybody. I'm Tarbuck Transom.
Oh, I just started. Oh, I'm not a vampire.
And we were going to use these various crackers to try out this Farmer's Basil Pressed Cottage Cheese by Decatur Dairy in Wisconsin.
Decatur.
But it looks like Decatur.
It's Decatur.
Yeah, fine. And we started opening the crackers that we were going to try all these various Wisconsin cheeses.
He cheated
from.
first.
And I tried one, and I'm like, we have to do an episode on these. But if we do one each, it's going to take forever. So we're having many crackers by Savorites. Savorites is the
Aldi.
it's the Aldi brand of cracker.
Yeah.
They make all the crackers, which is why this episode is titled
The Savorites.
Transom and Mask Try All the Crackers.
Transom and Mask.
Well, it's right. I'm used to telling people about
Hi, I'm not a vampire.
Transom and Vamp Try All the Crackers. Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell how I've been spending my time lately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
So the very first thing was the one that I cheated with, which is these sea salt pita crackers. Let's give that a try.
No, I understand what cracker is that.
Mm-hmm.
The cracker itself is not supposed to be the main event, but as someone
I
who
was going to
likes
say the same thing.
as someone who likes sea salt, I'm disappointed. There's not enough salt.
In the first place, stop calling them sea salt. They're not salty enough for that. Secondly, if you've never had pita crackers before, they're not crispy, they're not flaky, they don't even really crack. They break. They break like concrete. It's just a chunk. It's like you're eating crackers made of bone.
I will say though,
they're crunchy, almost. Not crunchy like you know the popcorn seed that you get at the bottom of a bowl of popcorn where it feels like it's fighting you. Crunchy, not in a bad way.
I will say though, for as disappointing salt-wise as these are, I just love how buttery they are. They're buttery. They're buttery. They feel really light, which I'm sure they're actually not. But
And it's interesting because I know what I'm getting myself into when I get a pita cracker or a pita chip or something like that. And this is, if you've ever had pita chips or pita crackers of various kinds, stop. We have a lot of stuff to get through. This is very indicative of what pita is.
Yeah, more so than the pita crackers that we're used to having.
I think its biggest strength is its ability to get out of the way and let the thing that you put on top of it be the star. Because I know a lot of crackers that try to steal the show.
But to be fair, this is, just with the butteriness and with what little salt it does have, it is very good on its own. So if you're someone like me who's too lazy to have cheese with it, there you go.
Nextly, we have all of these crackers. We got like 6 kinds of crackers here. Let's read what we've got. We have sesame wheat entertainment crackers. We have seeded multigrain cracker. One of these two.
Wait, hold on. I know. Seeded multigrain. That's gonna be that one.
This because this has clear seeds in it. Now that I look closer at it. This is cracked wheat entertainer crackers, rosemary, and poppy pepper, and 7 grain. Well, I'm doing them in the order they are on the box. 7 grain is this one right here. This is gonna be a ride. Have you had wheat crackers before?
I feel like I have, but I can't remember.
Now, these are what are called table water crackers. This is what I usually have is what I usually have my smoked salmon with. On the occasions where I have smoked salmon. Another great Aldi find for surprisingly cheap, just
They seem really light
compared
and
to
flimsy,
what it...
although they're not easily broken.
Yeah, right. It is a middle-of-the-road cracker. Looking at it, you'd expect it to behave a lot more like a saltine than it really does. It's hearty. It's got a little bit of peppery kick in the back there. I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
This rules.
This sucks. Too much pepper. Downvote. 0 out of 10.
The pepper sets in really late, too.
No, it was right away for me. Like, because I went all in. No, I downvote. Pass me your soda.
Okay.
Nope. That's this shit, I'm done.
Alright, while we're doing this, the cheese is coming up to room temperature, because the temperature of the cheese is going to change a lot of how it behaves on your palate. It's opening up a lot of the aromatics. It's changing the character back to what it was intended to be by the craftsman.
Hashtag not a cheese snob.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
man, can you imagine how much weight I would gain if I got into wine?
Oh god. Okay, we're doing this one next.
By the way, I'm going to call out all the people who are into wine. You can definitely be into wine, but there's so many factors that go into flavor that the official like wine tasting thing characterizing an entire batch.
Oh.
It's all garbage. Like it's psychological all the way down.
And now we just lost all our viewers.
Yeah. No. Actually, you know what I'm doing? I'm helping our numbers. I'm helping our engagement numbers because this is going to cause people to be so infuriated that they will leave a comment below. You should leave a comment below.
Leave a comment if you want Tarbuck to be off because you like your wine, and wine tasting is for real, so.
Remember when this was a family-friendly show? You might want to, like, put meows over that or something.
The arch happened, that's what.
Yeah,
Okay.
It really did. You notice there's a huge difference in the way that I talk on this show compared to that show.
Yes. Just smelling it smells a lot more pleasant.
Yeah, this is probably what I would consider like a normal vegetable cracker or vegetable wheat cracker.
Be careful, it's crummy.
Crisp and flaky. Very.
Buttery. Also good.
Yeah, the buttery sets in at about the middle. I'm still reeling a little bit from the pepper. I might clear my palate before I finish this.
What kind is it?
Sesame wheat.
It's really good.
Yeah, when I would get just a singular package of entertainment crackers, this is the kind that I would usually get.
I have had a wheat cracker. I like them.
They're huge, too. Like, look at this.
Look at this and imagine like they went like that. That's what it looks like.
These crackers are enormous. So if you're used to a very particular workflow of like slicing up some cheese and putting it on a cracker, this will probably break that workflow.
Yeah, this is cheese. I'm making a point.
Yeah, but we have to all of those.
I'm making a point. This is cheese as a meal.
Alright. So next is
You chose wrong.
cracked wheat entertainer crackers.
I have no idea what that means.
It looks like it's supposed to have a split down it, but and it shows that on the box, like where it's perforated, like one of those tear out pieces of paper in a notebook.
Like the club crackers.
Yeah, but it totally doesn't actually transfer into the cracker. Cracked wheat.
Entertainer cracker. Yeah, it looks like a failed club cracker.
Oh, it's very different.
I don't know.
You're gonna hate this. It tastes like, you know those big like rippable loaves of bread that I get. Occasionally, one of those big loaves of bread will have a thicker crust on it, and that crust is so full of flavor. It's just not the sweetness that the bread normally has. This is that bread crust. If you like a premium bread crust in cracker form, this is it. Mm.
It's a little too bready for me. Like,
well, it's wheat. Like, cracked wheat is the flavor.
I'm enjoying the flavor, but just the texture of the bread, I just don't care for.
Yeah. Speaking of texture, that cracked hard.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why I was freaking out a moment ago.
Instead of it like flaking apart, you are chomping through it, but it's not as resistant as the pita crackers. Here, let me get a little bit of that.
I'm being goofy because you can actually see my face on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me, ain't it pretty? No, we're doing this next.
Okay. This is the one you're excited about?
No, we just need to snake through.
Hmm.
There's order to my madness sometimes. I don't know how excited I am for this. I'm smelling like spice. Yeah.
7 grain.
I think I'm smelling the rosemary.
Yeah, they are like. There's a lid to it, obviously, but the container is like open to air between the different crackers, so they stabilize to each other.
Actually, not as terrible as I thought it'd be. This is a really rich cracker.
Which reminds me a lot of the vegetable crackers that I would have. It's hearty. But hearty in a, like you can taste that it's good for you, and you can taste that it doesn't have any of the negative parts of what good for you normally means. It's all like, this tastes wholesome.
It does, and like you can taste like, it's like what you would imagine natural to taste like.
Mm-hmm.
Natural in a good way, not natural like.
If you found like some little house like on a prairie somewhere, and in the 1870s or something like that, and they made crackers there because they had something to do with the flour that was left over. And
they weren't part of Big Cracker yet.
Yeah. This is the top shelf pickings from that batch of crackers. I don't know how old crackers are or where they came from. Like, I imagine that people back in the day probably just made a lot of like bread.
Yeah.
And didn't really do crackers, but here we are.
They might have like. Oh, no,
this is the taste of virtue. That's way better than I was expecting.
It is, yeah, yeah. It's weird because you look at it and it looks like it's cinnamony, but excuse me,
not at all.
It's really good still, even though it's not.
There's a little bit of butter on it, but it's very subtle, and it hits right at the front, and then gets out of the way for the rest of it to plow through. Oh, this will be a nice editing challenge. You know what you should do? You should do the Victor Collins thing and like zoom in on your face every time you hiccup.
Well, maybe I scared them away. We'll see.
Okay.
All right, what are these?
They're seeded multigrain. These were the poppy and pepper.
Oh, okay. It's a lot more like a cracker.
Yeah. It's less flaky than a Ritz cracker, but like between a Ritz cracker and these.
Not as terribly peppery as the first one, but still a little
poppy
bit.
seed. No, this is just seeded multigrain is what this one is. This is boring. But like, I want to be artistic about it and like paint you a nice little picture, but it's very
basic.
Yeah.
It's a basic buttery cracker only with a little hints of, individuality, but not enough to really drag you away.
If you appreciate the extreme of subtlety, this is it.
Yeah. That's what I'd say too.
It's like having a mostly white house on the inside, and occasionally, like two walls of a room might be painted in a very, very pale pastel color to just give it that little bit of extra oomph of accent.
But it's still a White House.
It's still a White House, yeah. Subtlety. I think this would be very popular in Japan based on all the Japanese food stuff that I've been watching lately.
Okay. Finally. Oh, as a side note, the Japanese or this one particular brand of candies is the only
Finish your thought.
artificial strawberry that actually tastes like strawberry that I've ever had.
Right at the end of the last cracker of these that I had, I got a whole bunch of poppy seed all at once. It's a nice flavor. It's just not super present.
Yeah.
I can see why people have like poppy seed buns and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, the rosemary. This is going to be interesting. Rosemary, did you know, contains menthol. The same active ingredient in like mints of various kinds, which is also present in tobacco, I think. Yeah, they make menthol. Menthol is a kind of cigarette. Yeah. I don't know about smoking.
Very buttery.
Yeah, very.
But, like, right after the butter moves out of the way, then you get a full, not like full blast where it, like, pushes you over, but a really strong taste of the rosemary, which is pleasant, actually.
Yeah, if the previous episode's pumpkin spice wafer cookies were very spicy, this is herbaceous.
And then there's just little bits of salt sprinkled throughout. They're not a strong note, but they're more complimentary, which is nice.
But it's complimentary in a noticeable way. A lot of times when they put salt on a cracker, it feels like an afterthought. Like on your normal alkaline. Alkaline. I want to make that a thing. Alkaline. You're basic. Like saltines. The salt feels like an afterthought. It's not present. Here, the little grain salt is present. Because it actually has something to do. It's elevating something.
Okay.
I feel like rosemary is not the only herb in this. It's just the most forward. A lot of times when I would have rosemary in my noodles, it was a lot more aggressive. But that's because I put a lot of everything in everything.
I really like it.
I feel like there might be a little basil in that too.
Okay, so final thoughts on Cracker World.
I'm so glad that I forced this to be an episode because we had an entire episode's worth of content about this. This is fantastic.
It's really good. It's hard for me to choose favorites. I really like the pita sea salt. But then I'm also, I think I'm also going to have to go with the 7 grain and the rosemary. Because butteriness really hits that spot for me. I just love buttery crackers. Also, salt on crackers, that's always awesome too. But then each of these crackers, well, not so much this the pita because that kind of just fits those 2 buttons, that's about it. But the other 2, they add variance to that formula, which doesn't distract from the thing that I like about it.
Yeah. Like, to play off of your thing about butteriness, in retrospect, buttery crackers, like club crackers specifically, feels kind of like a like a Stevie kind of buttery. This is a more trustworthy kind of buttery. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You see what I mean?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Like club crackers taste kind of. This might just be my memory because I haven't we haven't done club crackers on the show, so I haven't truly appreciated it until we've done it on the show. But it tastes kind of like the idea of a buttery cracker that would be put out by a used car salesman.
That's wonderful, actually.
Right?
Okay, so...
and that... whoa. And that kind of treads on a lot of what I have come to want to do on this show. Is, like, you normally think of people who get so into food or wine, and wine is the prototypical example of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, the sommelier is such an archetype of, like, upper-class decadence. But that the richness of that experience, not rich like wealthy, but rich like,
yeah,
is available to everyone. And like, this is the bargain basement level cracker from the bargain basement level grocery store that we always go to. And that has kind of become the thesis of the show. A lot of that experience is just had by paying attention to the things that you consume.
Yeah, and just looking at what's there and, you know, not only exploring variants, but also looking at what you're eating and sort of analyzing it. Not just looking for food because it fills your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And
the unexamined life is not worth living. Quote by somebody. Somebody said that. We're going to put it right here. Really like if it like bumped up into you.
We'll see.
Alright, so that's kind of what I have come to want to get at with this show, which is why we're reviving the show. That and the fact that we got a whole bunch of cheeses in a story that I will tell on the next episode.
Icon has proper cheese now?
Yes, we can have proper cheese. Next time on Taste Test, Farmer's Basil Pressed Cottage Cheese from Decatur. The Decatur Gators. I bet that's a real sports team.
I hope so.
Show right here if that's a real sports team. Good night, everybody.